Okay, so far I've gone from Seattle area to Seaside, Oregon, then from Seaside, Oregon to North Bend, Coos Bay area, and then from North Bend to Arcata, and next is Arcata to Fort Bragg. Previously, when riding to San Francisco, I stayed in Eureka, which isn't far from Arcata at all, and then went to Fort Bragg. However, I followed the Seattle Randoneers route, which takes you through a lot of farmland through Humboldt County, and a lot of alternate bike routes, and even the Avenue of the Giants. But this time, I just opted to stay on Highway 101 all the way to California 1, which is on the coast. Okay, good morning. Today is day 4, leg 4, heading to Fort Bragg. I'm gonna take Redwood Highway the whole way, and it should be, about 160 miles. I can't wait to get there. And then I'll sleep in at the hotel because my last leg is gonna be really short. I can't get to my destination until the afternoon. Okay, I'm gonna have some coffee, hit the road. Alright, there was a part of Highway 101 where there was a sign. It stated indefinitely for that section, no pedestrians, no bicycles. And it put me on this little trail. From this trail, I anticipate I'll get back on 101 in Eureka. There were some parts of Highway 101 where bikes were prohibited, but there were signs indicating this, and it directed you onto a really cool trail that led you into Eureka. Out of the city into more rural area, thank goodness. It was really loud back there. Eureka, something else. Not going to San Francisco this time, but close. Then from Eureka, I went out to some country town area and just followed 101 all the way to the coast. I have never seen so much pampas grass. Oh my God. Don't bring my mom over here. So take it. When I came here, or through here, to get to San Francisco with the Seattle Randoneers, we were routed through this area over here. And that's where I almost ran into a fallen tree, and I had that interaction with the Humboldt County Sheriff. That was really cool. However, before getting there, you zigzag through a lot of farmland, and the roads are terrible. We're dog sitting our mom's dog, so I have to just keep an eye on it. Stopped at a rest stop to eat some leftover pizza and use the bathroom. Put my coat on. It's cold. Oh, jeez. I don't know how to put a coat on. Lord. Okay. Still got a ways to go before I hit California Highway 1. Just gotta stick to it. Let's go. Get the bike. Boom. Wah. That tube's holding up. Yeah, let's keep praying. Okay, I had to move where I can watch her. Wait, what are you doing? Hey. No. There she is right there. Let's go. This ride went slow. I was pretty tired. It was my first big ride of the year, and it was April, so still kind of chilly. However, that meant the roads were quiet, not a lot of tourists out yet, RVs, blah blah blah. But I stopped a couple times on Highway 101 along Avenue of the Giants at some small towns to grab some chocolate bars, Snicker bars, Chico sticks, and some frappuccinos. I had to get off the highway to get some chocolate and snacks. Look at that. I already ate one of the Snickers. Had to get a coffee too. I am dragging big time. Uh-oh, trouble ahead. Riding on 101 between Eureka and Old California one was actually really nice. The shoulder was relatively wide. However, as mentioned before, I have taken Avenue of the Giants previously, and that's relatively flat. Staying on 101, there was a lot of climbing. And there were instances where I was going too slow and I actually fell over into a grassy knoll because I was going too slow. That was okay, I just sat and take a break. This climb got a bite to it. Ay, ay, ay. I was really excited to get to Highway 1, but what I wasn't excited about, when you connect on to California 1 from Highway 101, there is a lot of climbing. And it tricks you, because you climb all this way and then you have this awesome screaming descent. And I was able to keep up with all the cars on the descent because there's some hairpins, they're pretty tight, so the cars really have to slow down. And you think you're done, you think you're headed to the coast, but that's not the case. You have to climb again. And then you don't even get the kind of descent that you previously had after that second climb. But you can see the coast coming. Duh. But it looks amazing. You can just see the sky and you know the ocean is right there. By the time I was about maybe 10 miles out from Fort Bragg, I thought my knees were gonna explode. So I had to stop and take some ibuprofen. Okay, made it to the California coast. Ooh. Ooh. Let me turn this around so you can look at my face. Oh. Yes. It's a little chilly, but pleasant. All right. I gotta take some ibuprofen. My knees are gonna explode. Okay, bye. coast ain't flat. Wouldn't that be cool? There's a bike path on the beach. Yeah. Nope, instead we get cliffs. Oh, yeah. While on the coast, you go through really tiny towns, and people, boy, they're really good at landscaping out there. There was one area that had so many red hot pokers. I don't know the actual name, but my mom and I call them red hot pokers. And even though I don't have any, she has tons and she loves them. They grow really well in the Pacific Northwest, but obviously they grow even better in California. So I had to take video for her. Ooh, madre. I'm taking this video for you. Look at all these red hot pokers. Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? Oh, look at this. And the birds love them. Whew. I love commuting on bike, and I love randoneering. I love all the long brevets. However, I don't camp outside because I just get too cold. And I really enjoy a hotel. I enjoy the soaps and the smells and the shower and relaxing. But the only hotel that was really affordable was the Motel 6. And Motel 6 wasn't even the cheapest hotel on this whole commute, which is kind of nuts. There's no shampoo, no conditioner, and worst of all, no coffee. They have no coffee. And I couldn't even find an outlet, or there's no USB. I mean, everything on my bike charges USB. But there was outlets for like the light, but it was nowhere near the nightstand. I did end up finding outlet by the bathroom sink, so I had everything plugged in there. I get now why the Motel 6 is so cheap. Oh, the camera makes it look good. It is like an old, I don't know, it's so creepy. When I think of hotel, like, you know, it smells good and all these different soaps, a million different USB outlets. I don't even see a plug-in. The shower, I wore my slippers into that I had on my bike bag because it had this weird brown, I can't even explain what it was, something from the Ninja Turtles movie around the drain. Yeah. And then I just washed my hair using the bar of soap. Not too bad. At least we get soap. This thing. There's no shampoo, but there's soap, and that'll work. I mean, that's how I used to wash my hair when I was a kid. Alright. There wasn't a lot of food options in the area or surrounding Motel 6 without car or without getting back on the bike. But there was a Mexican joint that had some wicked burritos. And I didn't know how big they were, but I ordered 3. Oh my god. They were the size of a small baby. This thing. So I was able to eat 2 that night. And then I put the other one in my Usui bag instead of liquids, since my last leg the next day was going to be really short, only 90 miles. So I just used it for my burrito, which appeared to be the same size as a 2-liter bag. Alright, that was Arcata to Fort Bragg. We'll be back.